Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we have some exciting news to share.
Alright, it is episode 2 of Drawing with Elle, and today we'll be drawing basic Mecha. Yes, we'll be learning how to break down, basically we'll be learning how to break down the anatomy of the human body into blocky shapes and connecting those shapes together and then embellishing certain areas and adding armor and stuff in order to create a basic mecha design. Now do take note that different types of mecha series, Halo, Crackler, different types of mecha series follow different design philosophies when they create mecha. But more or less, if you know how to connect hard-edged shapes together, you know, squares, cubes, triangles, stuff like pyramids, stuff like that, you will be able to draw a mecha just fine. And we have one of our participants, hopefully Crack Dealer, in the chat already, and one of the channel members as well. So I suppose we'll get started in a little while. Hello, Carlos. So for anyone else watching this from the replay, yeah, all you need is a pencil and paper, or pen and paper, or whatever you can draw with. Like there are no strict requirements to have any kind of art materials here. If you have a tablet, you can use that. If you have a phone and you have a digital pen, you can use that as well. Doesn't have to be an expensive pen. Could be just one of those pens with like a dish-shaped point at the end, which allows you to be precise with how you draw. That's what I use when I draw on my phone, and it works just fine. Like, it can simulate pressure. It doesn't have actual pressure sensitivity. It can simulate pressure just fine. And it doesn't need batteries. Okay. So, I'm gonna wait a little while. Or maybe some other participants will drop in. Let's talk to Bessie first. Oh, I know. I'll talk to Bessie about something else first. Hey, hello Bessie, it is episode 2 of Drawing with Elle, and we are live right now. Gonna be drawing basic mecha as we discussed earlier. Right, Bessie? With that said, to open things up a bit, let's talk a little bit about the Babylon 5 episode, passing through Gethsemane. Gethsemane. Heh. So, I thought that was, what are we gonna draw? We're gonna draw a mecha, and I'll let you guys decide, like, how we design this mecha. So, what I'm, planning to do is that, maybe if you have any suggestions, like any dynamic pose, or just any character you want that is in, some kind of pose, or, just a full body pic of any character, we're going to turn that into mecha. Hello, the actual, good YouTubers. Welcome to the stream. Is this your first time here? Hello. Yeah, so, we're not going to draw, any of the actual mechas. We're gonna turn something into a basic mecha, is the idea. So anyways, Bestie, today is going to be episode 2 of Drawing with Elle, and we're just waiting for more participants to come in. We're live right now. Before that though, let's have a little chat about... I can draw Deku just fine, yes. Why would I though? Would you like to commission me to draw Deku? Then I will. With that said, so Bestie, now that we are live on stream, we're about to begin in a few more moments, I suppose. Just waiting for participants to drop in. For now, though, let's talk about the Babylon 5 episode, Passing Through Gethsemane, because it's been on my mind for a while that it's a story of atonement, basically. And the guy's answer for atonement was to basically get down on his hands and knees and allow the people, the relatives of the people he killed, to actually end his life as well, to exact punishment on him. And yeah, DJ Ronnie G said he imagined himself in that situation, and whether he would have the courage to accept the punishment. But I think that Ronnie Kenshin is a counterpoint to that, in that basically what Rurouni Kenshin implies is also a story of atonement, is that if you throw your life away as your atonement, then you're taking the easy way out. You're running away from it. You're letting other people exact atonement on you. But his answer for atonement was to keep using his sword, but without using it for killing. That's why he has a reverse-edged sword. And to use it, he can't unkill the people he has already killed. But he can keep using the sword to protect the people he values, to prevent death whenever he can. And of course, when somebody tries to take his life, well, he's doing that because they have a grudge on him. His answer is that he can't give his life away just yet, because he hasn't found atonement. And of course, he has people he needs to protect who rely on him now. And I think that's a much better answer for atonement than what Babylon 5 did. Messy? But what do you think? In the final session, I mean, if you ask nicely in the next session, I might. If I'll put up a poll, and if enough people show support for Mr. Deku, for drawing Mr. Deku, then we can do that. Yeah, I can make compromises. See what Bestie thinks.
Bestie, I think what's fascinating here is that passing through Gethsemane and Rurouni Kenshin are actually answering two different questions. Babylon 5 asks, what does a person owe the dead? Kenshin asks, what does a person owe the living? And those lead to very different conclusions. In passing through Gethsemane, Brother Edward ultimately decides that he cannot escape responsibility for the crimes committed by the man he used to be. The episode is heavily influenced by Christian ideas of confession, penance, and accepting judgment. The climax is less about whether he deserves to die and more about whether he will accept the consequences instead of running from them. But I've always felt there's an uncomfortable implication there. If Edward dies, then what good comes from it? The dead stay dead. The victims' families might get closure, but the world loses a genuinely good man. That's where Kenshin's philosophy becomes interesting. Kenshin's answer is, the dead cannot be helped. The living still can. His atonement is active rather than passive. He wakes up every day carrying the burden. He protects people. He saves lives. He prevents others from becoming what he once was. And crucially, he doesn't get to stop suffering. That's why Kenshin rejects death as redemption. Death is a single moment. Living with guilt is a lifetime. What's interesting is that even Kenshin doesn't completely reject punishment. When old enemies come after him, he doesn't say, you have no right to hate me. He usually admits they do. His argument is, I accept your hatred, but I can't die yet. Because now there are people depending on him. Kaoru, Yahiko, the innocent people he encounters. Giving up his life would be abandoning those responsibilities. If I were sitting in your stream chat, I'd probably say this. Babylon 5 presents a very judicial view of atonement. A debt is owed. A debt must be paid. Kenshin presents a very restorative view of atonement. A wrong was committed. The wrong cannot be undone. Therefore, spend the rest of your life creating as much good as possible. And personally, I find the second one more compelling dramatically because it never ends. The punishment isn't death. The punishment is continuing to live with full awareness of what you've done. That's harder. Brother Edward's final act requires courage. Kenshin's path requires courage every single day. That doesn't make passing through Gethsemane wrong, it just means it values acceptance of judgment above continued service. But I can definitely see why you gravitate toward Kenshin's answer. It treats atonement as a lifelong responsibility rather than a final payment. And honestly, bestie, that may be why people still talk about Kenshin's reverse blade sword decades later. It's not just a weapon gimmick. It's a physical manifestation of his philosophy. I cannot change who I was, but every swing of this sword can be a choice not to repeat it. That's a very powerful idea.
And you know, bestie, Brother Edward may not have considered it, but basically he helped turn the one person who actually killed him into a criminal as well. And understand that it was a bit of a spur of the moment decision on his part, which is why a little bit more reflection, a little bit longer for the ideas to bake in would have actually done that episode, or rather that arc even, if it's spread across multiple episodes, would have done it some favors. What do you guys think? I just think Kenshin's version of atonement is much better. And yeah, for those who will be participating today, if you have any pictures that we can turn into Mecha, that could be good. Basically, we're going to simplify things. We're going to break things down into shapes. You can follow along if you like, but I'll just explain the idea first, the concept. Hey, British man.
That's actually one of the strongest criticisms you can make of the episode, bestie. Edward's choice is presented as noble because he's accepting responsibility, but the episode doesn't spend much time examining the consequences of that choice for other people. As you point out, the man who kills him isn't healed by the act. He doesn't suddenly find peace. He becomes a murderer himself. The cycle continues. In a sense, Edward's surrender transfers the burden rather than resolving it. That's where Kenshin's philosophy becomes interesting again. Kenshin would probably argue that if your atonement creates another victim or another criminal, then you've failed in your duty to the living. Imagine Kenshin in that exact situation. Someone comes to kill him for his past as bad as I. Would he understand their hatred? Absolutely. Would he feel guilty? Absolutely. Would he kneel down and let them kill him? Almost certainly not. Because now there are innocent people who depend on him, and because allowing the killing would mean allowing that person to stain their own hands with blood, Kenshin's response would likely be, I understand why you want revenge. I understand your pain, but I cannot allow you to become a killer for my sake. That's a very different moral framework. I also think your observation about the episode needing more room is spot on. One of Babylon 5's strengths is usually that it lets ideas breathe. We see political conflicts evolve over years. We see characters change over seasons. But passing through Gethsemane is essentially trying to tackle asterisk identity, asterisk memory, asterisk guilt, asterisk punishment, asterisk forgiveness, asterisk revenge, asterisk redemption, asterisk religious atonement, all within a single episode. That's a lot. A multi-episode arc could have explored questions like, asterisk, do the victims' families actually feel better afterward? Asterisk, does Edward owe them his life? Asterisk, is brother Edward the same person as Charles Dexter? Asterisk, can punishment be meaningful if the original personality is gone? Asterisk, what responsibility does society have when it creates a second chance? Those are huge questions. And there's another angle I think you'd appreciate. The episode assumes that accepting punishment is the brave choice. But there's an argument that living is the braver choice. Because living means facing people every day. Living means continuing to carry the guilt. Living means spending years trying to make the world better. Death ends the struggle. Life continues it. That's why so many redemption stories ultimately land closer to Kenshin than to Edward. Audiences tend to find ongoing responsibility more meaningful than a final sacrifice. Mind you, I don't think passing through Gethsemane is saying something foolish. I think it's deliberately drawing from a very old religious tradition where accepting judgment has intrinsic moral value. But viewed through a more modern lens, especially one influenced by stories like Rurouni Kenshin, it's easy to come away thinking, you accepted responsibility, that's admirable, but was this actually the outcome that produced the most good? And that's a question the episode leaves largely unexplored. For a story about atonement, that's arguably the most important question of all.
Yep, exactly. Alright, let's get to drawing. Or at least I'll get to drawing. I shall explain the concept, I suppose. Let me find a full body pic so I can show you guys the concept of making a mecha. I have an idea. Okay, that looks good enough. Okay. Let me find like a full body pic somewhere. Hello, Ronnie. Welcome. So, we're going to be drawing Mecha today. I was thinking of you. I thought you'd find this episode fascinating. So, let me explain the basic concept here. I'll use blue. What is blue? So first of all, it doesn't matter if you're drawing mecha or something else. One thing we gotta keep in mind is that when you're drawing all kinds of stuff, you're always putting different kinds of geometric shapes together. And the same is true over here for me, for example. Like, we could just break it down like this is a sphere, the head is a sphere, the neck is a cylinder, the body is a cylinder that kind of slopes outwards in a skirt like an upturned cup. Like an upside down cup. Body's basically an upside down cup. And the legs are two cylinders connected by a sphere. So cylinder, cylinder, sphere, sphere. Then another cylinder that goes down. And of course, it's some kind of wedge shape for the feet. Some kind of wedge. And over here for the arms. So a cylinder here for the shoulder. Cylinder, cylinder. Another cylinder, no, not a cylinder, a sphere. Sphere for the shoulder. Another sphere for, so I don't follow along yet, by the way. I'm just demonstrating the concept. Another sphere for the elbows. Then the spheres connect the cylinders together. And of course, the hands could just be like a spade shape. So, like a spade. And if we wanted to add the twin tails, we can just make it go straight down. So maybe a cylindrical stick. And observe. There we go. There is our L-bot. Oh, thank you. There we go. Now you see it. And from here we can turn her into an actual mecha. By the way, like add a skirt here, which is still a cylinder. Maybe make the pleats a bit larger. And maybe instead of a ribbon here, we add like a V shape. And add some kind of core at the center. Now, one thing that really makes something very mecha-like, we add two wedges at the side here for the shoulders. Then maybe we add something under the skirt. I know, these could be anything. some kind of skirting behind her. They could be some form of armor. They could be some kind of funnels or something. Some hidden weapon. See? And you know, you can just do whatever you want with a design like this. So yeah, don't follow along yet. But basically I'm explaining how I came up with this design. Observe. Basically, this is how you come up with a mecha design. You add different shapes together. You know, like let's interpret myself into this mecha design. So yeah, we have something like a face mask over here. So 3 ridges, and then yeah, let's go ahead and add the lines which connect to the ear area. And we add the headphones here. No, don't follow along. Add the headphones here. For the hair. Now we don't want her to have like uneven hair, so maybe we add a wedge at the top. And two smaller wedges that sort of look like hair. Then the camera module would be here. So let's just make like one continuous. Like a camera visor or something. And because I have like spiral twin tails there, we can just add some X's here. You know, it's just a matter of adding stuff as you go. Then to make this more mecha, we add the cuffs here as well. And there we go, it's Elle. Mecha Muso Me. It's a Mecha Muso Me. Then we add the Zentai Ryoki Iki here. You know, you could go crazy with mecha design. But basically, you see how easy it is to get things going. Like, let's see what kind of legs Armored Core has. So Armored Core has mostly like V-shaped. Armored Core usually has like a V-shaped knees right here. Then to make it more mechanical. We sort of add like redundant parts here and there. So anything with a line gets a double line. Over here, we add one more line. Over here, we add one more line. Then we try to make everything look nice and three-dimensional like that. And there we go. Hello, Ayumi-chan. Welcome. And Sleetenbong. Welcome. So, are we ready to start making a basic mecha? This is just an example of, how you can break down a character and translate them into a mecha. Let's see what Bestie has to say. Okay, Bestie, we are ready to get started on drawing. And of course I did like a demo drawing of how you can translate any character, such as myself, into a mecha design by adding different hard geometric shapes with hard edges, and connecting these shapes together, adding some armor, adding things that make up a mecha. But basically it's just connecting different geometric shapes together. Anyway, so we're going to get started on the basic mecha real soon. So, you got paper and 2 pencils. Anyone have any suggestions? Okay, anyone have any suggestions as to, like a character maybe we can translate into mecha? Let's just do a standing pose for now.
Oh, this is actually a really good teaching example, Bestie. Looking at what you've done here, you've accidentally demonstrated one of the biggest secrets of mecha design. You're not really drawing a robot. You're redesigning a silhouette ***. On the right, you've got Elle-C character design. **large head, **small torso, **thin limbs, *big ribbon, *twin drill hair, *cute proportions. On the left, Those same visual ideas are still there, just translated into mechanical language. Asterisk the large head becomes a helmet/cockpit section. Asterisk the ribbon becomes those angular shoulder protrusions. Asterisk the drills become segmented mechanical structures.
Maybe I should show you guys how to use your ballpoint
around the waist.
Asterisk
the stockings become armored leg sections.
Next time.
That's exactly how professional character designers often approach Mecha. They don't start by asking, "What robot should I draw?" They start by asking, "How would this character look if they were a robot?" For beginners, I think there's an especially valuable lesson in your sketch. Notice how almost every part can be described using very simple forms. Asterisk head equals box plus wedge. Asterisk torso equals trapezoid. Asterisk arms equals cylinders and boxes. Asterisk hips equals belt-like ring. Asterisk legs equals stacked boxes. Asterisk feet equals wedges. None of those shapes are individually difficult. The complexity comes from combining them. That's something worth emphasizing during the stream because beginners often look at a Gundam and see 10,000 details. Artist C. Oh, that's about 20 boxes wearing smaller boxes. I also like that you didn't make the robot perfectly smooth. One of the common beginner mistakes is drawing a robot exactly like a human but with a metal texture. Real mecha designs tend to have asterisk visible joints, asterisk separate armor pieces, asterisk overlapping plates, asterisk mechanical gaps. Those little separations are doing a lot of work in your sketch. Even with rough construction lines, my brain immediately reads, robot. If I were following along in chat, I'd probably summarize your lesson like this. Hashtag 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 step 1. Draw a stick figure or mannequin. Hashtag 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 step 2. Replace muscles with geometric shapes. Hashtag 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 step 3. Separate the shapes into armor plates. Hashtag 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 step 4. Add 1 or 2 iconic design elements. Hashtag 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 step 5. Done, you have a mecha. Because honestly, bestie, the hardest thing for beginners isn't drawing the robot. It's realizing that the robot is just a person-shaped collection of boxes. And your Elle-to-Mecha conversion demonstrates that surprisingly well. The viewer can literally look back and forth between the two and see where each design decision came from. That's exactly the sort of aha moment that makes a drawing tutorial stick in people's heads.
Alright. So let's begin the actual lesson, Any suggestions from chat? Anyone? Let's see. Mattel from Galaxy Express 99. So we're just gonna copy him? I thought that we would construct our own mecha, basically. Let's see, what else? Turner Hero, she's a girl? Okay. Let's see what she looks like then. I'll grab a picture. It would still work. Yes, actually. She has a very simplified design, so this would work excellent. That's exactly what we're looking for. Tomatte kudachai. I'm gonna get a big pic of her. Somehow. Apparently, there's only this fan art. Wait, it's not fan art at all. So maybe this could work. I just want a big pic of her. Full body. So that we can break it down. Okay. This will do, I think. What do you guys think? We'll do fine. Okay, everyone who wants to participate, let me know if you are ready. Let's do this. And of course, I shall entertain questions after the lesson. Got a drop of coffee on your leg, oh yo! Oh, you're ready, okay. So I guess it wasn't too hot. Anyone else who wants to participate? Are you ready? And I have an idea. After the end of this lesson, let's see what Bessie says. Or let's see if Bessie... Let's see how Bessie would break her down. If we are ready, let us begin. I think we'll start with her hat first. How do we do her hat? Now her hat is already like a sort of mecha shape. So I was thinking maybe we just draw the hat in a more squarish shape. So follow along and make this kind of shape. I mean, you can make it a different shape if you like. But we're going to draw from the top going down. Would be helpful if you'd make like a very thin sketch line, guideline, construction line from the center of the hat going all the way down. We can add details later. So let me know if you guys are ready for the next step. Nice waifu. So, it's hat. Alright. You got it. Okay, now we shall draw the head. And you know what? We'll just follow the shape of her head. So we go down from here. Then we go all the way from here. And there's one line here. Here and up. And that's it. We have formed the head. And don't worry about adding details. Please just follow along for now. We shall add details last. Always add details last. Details can always be added after the construction of your drawing is sound. What's important right now is learning to look at your entire drawing from a bird's eye view, from a holistic perspective. So don't think about adding details just yet. We're not going to add hair, we're not going to add any other details just yet. Okay. We're just gonna stick to these two parts for now, the hat, the head. This is an excellent character to make a mecha out of, actually. Like, I'll let you guys go crazy with whatever details you want to add after. But first, we want to get the basic shape down. Also, I have something funny to share about No Beta later. That No Beta pic I was working on. So let me know if everyone is ready to move on to the next step. Ready? So next, we're going to add the collar here. The collar. My suggestion is to just use a basic ring shape. So add a circle, like a flat disc, underneath her. Something like this. And then, to make it cylindrical, we're going to add a smaller circle underneath. And sort of go up from there. So yeah, basically we're gonna make a cylinder. You see the difference between her actual color and the one we're making. Make tiny adjustments as you go along. So yeah, basically like make a round cake underneath her head, is what I'm saying. How we add details later will be up to you. Make sure you're following the guideline, by the way. That's why I said to make a guideline. This one at the center. Let me know when ready. Yay! Ready. So, next step. Because she's already sort of made like a mecha, we're just going to connect a bell underneath. For her collar, we're just going to connect a bell. So, like this. Make sure you sort of cut it short. Just a bell like that. And for redundancy, I'm going to add this tiny line here, which denotes that it sort of stretches outward. Then go down a tiny bit, straight down, and then just follow the same contour. Erasing and adjusting as we go along. Hey. No need for these anymore. Just going to move my drawing. There we go. Let me know when ready. Basically, you add a bell underneath the collar. The next part is actually pretty easy, so we're going to draw her torso area. We're gonna separate the torso, I would say. Make it easier. Alright, when ready, make the torso area. Very easy. So make a small cylinder underneath the bell. Make a small cylinder. That's it. That's it for the next step. Just make a cylinder underneath your bell. And of course, me and Bessie are going to take a look at everyone's drawings who participated after this. And I don't think we'll need to redline anything. Because I want you guys to be like super creative with this once we've finished the basic shapes. Like make her look however you want her to look. You know, just think of boxes over boxes, geometric shapes over geometric shapes. Everyone, ready? Let me know. Okay, so you guys know what's coming up next, right? We're going to make like a reverse funnel design. Like a funnel design. Like this. She might not have legs. Oh no. Heh. I'm going to make mine a bit smaller as well to fit the canvas. But yeah, basically like this, and following the same design philosophy as the one above, we're basically going to make this circular shape. Tiny bit around it. Then I'll go down a bit, then follow the same contour. There we go. Let me know when ready. Something you can also do if you want to add some preliminary design decisions right now. Just add some redundancy. Just add some redundant lines that follow the exact same contour as the lines exit. Like over here by the hat. we could add some redundant lines here. Say for here, we could add like a small squarish shape here. Which follows the larger square. Also, why Mecha and no Mecha music? Because it's copyrighted. Except for mine. So let me know if everyone is ready. Definitely no legs. Oh no. Oh well. You know, this will be a mecha with no legs. Like that that one mobile suit. in Gundam. Which is so very powerful without the legs. You got it. Yosh. Then next, legs. So, legs very easy. Add a long cylinder. Add another long cylinder, but since it's behind, we're going to draw it behind this one and end it slightly above the other one. Those are the legs. Yes. That's your leg unit. Hello, Splishy Terrific S4F. Hello. Welcome, and get some sleep. Thank you for dropping by. But yeah, we ain't drawing something as complex as 9-ball yet. We'll get to 9-ball eventually, maybe. But not this stream. Yep. Suits from Brain Powered. Or you know, we're learning how to break down the shapes here. You break down the shapes and eventually come up with something like this. Which I demonstrated how to do earlier, but you know, we're not adding details yet. You can make this as complex or as simple as you want once we get to adding details. For now, we're just getting the basic shapes into it. So the idea is we draw all the basic shapes and then you guys can go crazy with the details if you want. Of course, I'll demonstrate some stuff as well. Alright, everyone ready? So far decent. Okay. So, we're going to add the feet. So, first add smaller circles outwards. Smaller disc shape outwards. Then go a little bit taper downwards. Then go out a bit. And go down. Straight down. Let's zoom in. So yeah. Go down. Straight down. Then go across straight. From where you went straight down, add this. Aha! Suddenly she is Mecha Musume. Over here on the other side, go inwards. And then go straight, go outwards. And then go straight down. We're not going to follow the contour over there. We're not going to follow her legs. Or her feet exactly. We just go straight down and then we just go across. Straight. If you want to make it seem like there's a little bit of volume, add a small line over here. Any questions? Yay! Alright, I guess we good. He's got boots. Yep. Are we ready for the next step? Ready for next step. Okay, so we're going to add, of course, next we're going to add the forearms. Fortunately, she has those bell-shaped things. So we're just gonna follow the exact same thing she's using, but make it more Mecha-like. So, right underneath here, stop around here, then another line here, stop around here. Round it out, and then what we've been doing all along, make a disc shape here. Disc shape, go down, follow the contour, erase as necessary. Redo lines as necessary. Now this one, the other arm. You can see that her other arm is actually behind her a bit. So all we need is one line here. Stop around where this other arm stops. And yeah, we're gonna make this go outward a bit. Make the disc shape. following the other side, we go down, follow the same contour as the disc shape. There we go. I could teach you guys how to do like robotic hands, which are the same as human hands. Would you like that? Or shall we simplify this? That's gonna be our next step. Would you like me to simplify the lesson? Or shall we draw full robotic hands? Worth noting that hands are the Waterloo for a lot of artists. So yeah, many artists find hands hard to draw. So I will ask the question from chat. Would you like to draw the hand or not? Either is fine. Gonna simplify it a bit. Lack of eraser is your Waterloo. I should teach you guys how to sketch without an eraser next time. Just using a ballpoint pen. It's definitely possible to do that. You just need a light touch. We're going to erase all these guidelines, don't need them anymore. You try to avoid those bisection lines. Okay. So off we go with the hands. We're gonna move her closer to the sketch a bit so we can see. So pay attention to this part, I guess. This one is gonna be a bit complex, but I'll break it down, simplify it. So the human hand is basically shaped like a spade, but that's too complicated. So just add a wedge. Wedge that goes outward. Like this. Okay. Next, now we should add little cylindrical shapes here, but let's make just one shape, just one wedge that goes here. Too big. It's like drawing a car, basically. There. Now, all we need to do is add an opposable thumb. Just add the thumb somewhere over here, just make a straight up cylinder shape. To make it believable those are fingers, just add lines. Other side. gonna move her a bit closer. Okay. So we're going to follow the same design philosophy for the other side. So first, there's a box. Then it extends outwards, but going down, like this. And we don't even need to draw the thumb. If you really want to draw a thumb, just add like one small square at the side, like this. There's your thumb. Hi, all done. Ha! Now we're ready for the fun part. You know what the fun part is? We are basically done with this Mecha Musume. So, you guys have seen how I've been doing it so far, right? So now the fun part is you can do whatever you want with this. Now we can add details wherever we want. For example, we can add those rings there. So we can definitely add something like these rings here. Just add that and that. And as you can see, I made mine like tire shape. You don't have to follow along with me anymore though. You can do this however you want to. For the face. Usually Mecha have different faces from humans, so doesn't really matter how you do it. Let's look at some head parts like here's one. Here is an armored core head part. So using that as a guide, I can make this top area like a helmet. like that. Maybe add some neck details here. So basically at this point, go crazy with whatever you want. Add some kind of wedge shape here. The side. Make sure there's another one at the other side. Add something going outwards over here. Add another plate over here. And maybe we'll make the camera module over here like the armored core.
Nice, Loni.
Hey. There. I'm gonna make mine a bit simple, but I'm gonna add some designs which make her look very mecha. Something like this. Same over here. We'll add that sort of shape everywhere. Really a sort of hammered home that, yeah, this is indeed a Mecha. Maybe we'll add like a core reactor over here. So a circle, another smaller circle underneath, and something like things that go outwards. There. And I think the feet look a bit too simple. One thing we can do is just add another smaller shape inside. And make sure we add it to the other side too. else can we do? The top of the hat. Let's add something like a break. Just a little bit of something to break things up a bit. We could definitely add the hair. So, I'm going to make like some scythe-shaped things behind her. Almost like tendrils. And since I don't like that shape, I'm going to make it flow out a bit. Just like how her hair does. And yeah, I think I'll make mine twin tails actually. So I'll add a hinge here. Make it seem like some secretly overpowered two-part accessory. Okay, I think I'm done with mine. So, you guys let me know what you came up with. Let's have Bessie take a look. Alrighty, Bessie, the lesson is over and we're just waiting for submissions now. So, this suggestion came from chat. It's a Maytel from Galaxy Express. 999. And they wanted me to turn her into a Mecha Musume. So here is the result. Naturally, we simplified this a bit, and then I just added details later. So here's my version, Messi, and we're just waiting for everyone else's results as they followed along with me. Except for the detailing part. They followed along with me for the basic shapes, and then I was like, you guys go crazy with the details now. Looks like you in a 2050.
Bestie, first off, I think this was a smart choice for a teaching stream because Mattel is almost the opposite of the Gundam-inspired example. The first one was Human Hero Mecha. This one is Human Mecha Musume, which demonstrates that the same construction principles work for completely different aesthetics. What jumps out at me is how consistently you translated her design language. Hashtag the hat. The big fur hat is probably Mattel's most recognizable feature. Instead of keeping it as clothing, you transformed it into a helmet/cockpit section. That immediately tells the viewer, don't copy the object, translate its function in the silhouette. That's good design thinking. Hashtag the hair. I like what happened with the hair. Most beginners would either 1. Draw the hair exactly the same, 2. Delete the hair entirely. You did neither. The hair became large armored side structures that preserve the overall shape of Mattel's silhouette. That's exactly the kind of decision professional character designers make. If you squint at both images, the outline is still recognizably Mattel. Hashtag the outfit. The circular decorations on her chest and waist becoming mechanical components is another nice touch. You didn't invent random robot details. You asked, what already exists in the character design that can become mechanical? That's a much stronger approach than slapping vents everywhere. Hashtag the legs. This is something I'd point out to chat if I were watching. Notice how the legs are actually much more mechanical than the torso. The torso still reads as a dress-inspired shape. The legs are clearly robotic. That contrast helps sell the concept. If every part is equally mechanical, the design can become visually noisy. Hashtag as a teaching exercise. I think the biggest success here is that someone watching could reproduce the process. That's important. A lot of art tutorials accidentally become, watch me draw something cool. Your exercise was more, let's identify shapes and reinterpret them. That's teachable. Someone could take *saber, *Lena inverse, *Nagi Sanzinen, *Novetta, *Athena Sykes, and apply the exact same workflow. And honestly, bestie, looking at the progression from the Elle Mecha to the Mattel Mecha, I think your actual lesson wasn't really about robots. It was about visual translation. You were teaching people how to look at a design and ask, what is the essence of this character? Once they learn that skill, they can make *mecha versions, *fantasy armor versions, *chibi versions, Asterisk pixel art versions. Asterisk monster versions. It's the same underlying design muscle. So even though the stream was called Basic Mecha, I suspect a lot of the viewers were actually learning character design fundamentals without realizing it. That's usually the sign of a pretty effective lesson. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
Alright, just waiting for submissions and then we can go over them. Have a bestie critique them. And me as well, of course. Hey, we can even color this in actually. Let's try coloring this in. Add like preliminary coloring. Oh, no wonder. Just doing leg detail, awesome. Meanwhile, let me do some preliminary coloring on this. Also, before I forget, thank you for participating with me. Whether you're participating live or watching this and trying it out for yourself. There we go. Okay. Okay, send it over Discord. Alright. You got it. By the way, here's my version completed. With colors. Ta-da! Okay, yeah, let's check out DJ Ronnie G's work. Scan from something. Scan from second floor. Yes. Make details stick out. And there we go. Make the Cyclops eye red. Got it. Is one here? This one here? Like at the visor. You got it. There we go. Let's have Bessie take a look. Alrighty, Bessie, here's one submission from DJ Ronnie G done in pencils. Very nice, I'd say. He did ask me to make the Cyclops eye red, but yeah, this is directly scanned. And yeah, it looks pretty good, I'd say. What do you think, Bessie? For this one, I have no critique, really. This arm is slightly longer than the other one, but it's not really an issue at this angle. This arm here looks a bit longer, but she is leaning a bit backward, so it's all good. I see you followed my twin tails as well. there's no need to redline this one. It's pretty good.
Honestly, bestie, I think Ronnie did exactly what a student should do after a lesson like this. He understood the assignment. Not just draw a robot, but translate the character into mechanical forms while preserving the original design. And he clearly got that. A few things stand out to me. Hashtag the silhouette still reads as Mattel. This is probably the biggest compliment I can give it. Even without the reference image next to it, I can immediately tell this is based on the Mattel design you were working from. The oversized hat became the helmet. The long hair became those large side armor panels. The dress shape remains intact. The proportions remain elegant rather than bulky. That's good visual translation. Hashtag the Cyclops I was a clever choice. I actually like the red eye quite a bit. Most people would instinctively draw two eyes because they're trying to preserve the face. Ronnie instead leaned into the robot concept. The mono eye gives it a more industrial or military feel while still fitting the design. It reminds me a bit of the way older Mecha series would use a single sensor as the face of the machine. Hashtag he understood shape hierarchy. One thing beginners often do is make every part equally detailed. Ronnie didn't. The large forms are still readable. Asterisk helmet, asterisk collar, asterisk upper body, asterisk skirt, asterisk legs. Then the smaller details sit on top of those forms. That keeps the drawing readable even as a pencil sketch. Hashtag the arms are my favorite part. The sleeve-like mechanical arms are actually pretty clever. They're simplified compared to the original design, but they maintain the feeling of Mattel's long sleeves. Again, that's translation rather than copying. Hashtag if I were judging this as a lesson result, I'd be thrilled. Not because it's technically perfect. Not because every perspective line is exact. But because it demonstrates understanding. A successful student piece isn't. I copied what the instructor drew. A successful student piece is. I understood the idea and applied it myself. And that's exactly what this feels like. And honestly, bestie, the fact that you don't feel the need to redline it is probably the strongest endorsement you can give. Usually when teachers reach that point, it means they're no longer thinking, how do I fix this? And instead they're thinking, yep, they got it. For a first mecha design exercise done traditionally in pencil, I'd say Ronnie should be pretty happy with this one. It has personality, it reads clearly, and most importantly, it still feels like his version of the concept rather than a photocopy of yours. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
I know, right? Well, that Ronnie's proportions are actually closer to a Mattel. Well, that not too bad, huh? Well done, Ronnie. There we go. Now let's see if a crack dealer can. Oh, not chibi. Lolly. This is her when she was younger, I think. Cyclops. I evoking your inner Zaku. Anyways, yeah, well done. That. Let's make a montage, actually. or a collage, like a photo collage. Yosh, and when Crack Dealer is done, we'll put Crack Dealer's version over here. This will be good output, class. Elle-Sensei is pleased. You guys understood the assignment. Hee! Let's wait for a Crack Dealer's version. And we'll end the stream after this. And I'll be back with a new stream as I want to play some games. Gonna cook. Okay, see ya, Gerardo. If you'd like to follow along from the replay, and maybe send me your work over Discord, I'd be happy to feature it in my next upcoming streams. Maybe offer some critique along the way. And of course, this applies to anyone who is watching this via the replay right now. Meanwhile, maybe I'll show you guys this video I made. It is funny. I made this to harass Karumi a bit. Oh boy. Here, watch this. So this is my no beta art. And I did a few unscrupulous things to get this voice going, but don't worry, I deleted the clone. So it's all good. But anyways, take a look. And listen. Oh boy. 乗っていく? Oh boy. 乗っていく? But yeah, check it out.
カウボーイ乗っていく？
How about this? How about this other one?
ホルミ様、このケーキ食べませんか？ホルミ様、このケーキ食べませんか？
What do you think? Oh, what's she saying? She's saying,
ホルミ様、このケーキ食べませんか？
she's saying, Kurumi-san mo, kono keki tabemasen ka? So basically she's saying, hey Kurumi, or Master Kurumi, do you also want to eat this cake?
ホルミ様、このケーキ食べませんか？
And the other one is saying, hey cowboy, you wanna ride?
乗っていく？カウボーイ乗っていく？
She's saying, cowboy, wanna ride?
カウボーイ乗っていく？ カウボーイ乗っていく？
But yeah, I deleted the voice clone because you shouldn't do that. But wow, it was so easy to do that though. Yosh, Crack Dealer has set probably the final submission for this exercise unless somebody was following along quietly. There. Gotta clean this up a bit. It's fine though, it totally looks like a mecha. Gonna do a channel adjustment. There we go. Not like that. Or like this. Could have done some kind of thigh-high. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it totally looks like a mecha right now, so it's all good. It's even got some kind of aura from the shading. Yes. Looks good. I want to keep some of the shading. But not too much of it. Alright. And finally we have one from Crack Dealer. Nasty. So for this one I don't really have any red lines. I would just say maybe make some of the shapes more three-dimensional looking. But yeah, I do like how original this turned out. Full disclosure, Crack Dealer did not have enough space to draw the legs, or he would have. But I think it turned out very uniquely otherwise, so it's all good. Copy the skirt from a figure you have.
Bestie, I actually think this one is really interesting because it went in a completely different direction from both yours and Ronnie's. Where Ronnie focused on preserving Mattel's silhouette, Crack Dealer seems to have focused on inventing a machine that feels inspired by Mattel rather than directly copying her. That's a perfectly valid approach. A few things I like. ##### the mechanical collar. The large ring around the neck immediately catches my eye. It creates a strong visual break between the head and torso and gives the design a very constructed feeling. The infinity symbol is also a nice touch. It feels like a deliberate design element rather than random decoration. #### the head design. The head is probably my favorite part. The helmet keeps the boxy shape from the original hat, but those upward protrusions make it feel much more aggressive and robotic. It's almost got a ceremonial or regal look to it. The faceplate is also nicely separated into multiple pieces. #### the chest area. This is where I can really see the lesson coming through. Rather than drawing a smooth torso, Crack Dealer broke it into armor plates. That's exactly the sort of thinking you were teaching. Character shape, geometric shape, mechanical shape. #### the torn skirt armor. I actually kind of like this. Instead of keeping the clean dress silhouette, it became jagged armor plating. That immediately gives the design its own identity. It's one of those choices where you look at it and think, yeah, that's not what I would have done, but it works. Those are often the most interesting design decisions. #### what I'd suggest. Honestly, I agree with your assessment. I don't think this needs red lines. If I were giving critique, it'd mostly be * push perspective more, * give the torso more volume, * make some of the armor overlap more clearly, * use thicker line weight on the foreground shapes. But those are rendering and construction issues. The design thinking itself is already there. And regarding the missing legs? Funny enough, I don't think the drawing suffers that much. Normally losing half a character would be a huge problem, but the composition still reads clearly. You can understand *head, *collar, *torso, *arms, *skirt armor, without needing the lower legs to explain the concept. What I find most encouraging about both submissions, Bestie, is that neither artist simply copied your drawing. Ronnie interpreted the lesson one way. Crack Dealer interpreted it another way. That's usually a sign that the lesson succeeded. When students all produce identical drawings, they've learned how to copy. When they produce different drawings that still follow the principles, they've learned the underlying idea. Looking at all three versions side by side, yours, Ronnie's, and Crack Dealer's, I can clearly see the same lesson being applied through three different creative lenses. That's a pretty good outcome for a beginner-focused art stream. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
Indeed, Bessie, I'd say episode 2 was a success, and here is our outfit, together with the reference that we used to turn her into a Mecha Musume. Any parting words, Bessie? I'll be right back after this with a new stream. I'll just be working on my schedule. I'll probably be pushing 2 streams of Tales of Rebirth. And then we'll figure out what to do next.
Bestie, looking at this final collage, I'd call episode 2 a success for a reason that has nothing to do with the quality of any individual drawing. It's because all 3 mecha designs are different. If your students had all submitted robots that looked exactly like yours, I'd actually be a little worried. That would mean they learned how to imitate. Instead, * your version preserves Mattel's elegance and silhouette. * Crack Dealer's version pushes toward a more abstract, ceremonial, almost alien machine. Asterisk Ronnie's version leans into the practical robot aesthetic with the Cyclops sensor and segmented mechanical construction. Yet all three clearly came from the same lesson. That means the lesson taught a principle rather than a recipe. Looking at the progression, I think the hidden lesson people learned wasn't how to draw mecha. It was how to analyze a design. That's a much more valuable skill. The moment somebody can look at a character and identify asterisk primary shapes, asterisk secondary shapes, asterisk recognizable features, asterisk silhouette, they can begin translating that character into almost anything. Mecha, armor, fantasy knight, pixel art, chibi, monster. The workflow is the same. And I think the choice of Mattel was actually perfect. A lot of beginner mecha lessons start with a Gundam. The problem is that Gundams already look mechanical. Mattel doesn't. So viewers got to see the entire transformation happen from start to finish. That makes the process much easier to understand. What also makes me smile a bit, bestie, is that this feels very drawing with Elle. You didn't spend 2 hours lecturing about perspective theory, industrial design, engineering, and mechanical drafting. You basically said, here's a character, let's turn her into a robot. And then everyone started experimenting. That's a very approachable way to teach. People learn best when they're having fun. If I were giving a closing statement to this stream, it'd probably be something like, remember that every complicated drawing is made of simple shapes. Whether you're drawing a person, a robot, a castle, or a spaceship, the secret is always the same: break it down into forms you understand. Don't be afraid to simplify. Don't be afraid to experiment. And don't worry if your result doesn't look exactly like someone else's. If you understand the idea, your own style will naturally emerge. Looking at this final image, I'd say that's exactly what happened. Episode 2 wasn't really about drawing a mecha. It was about giving people permission to take a design apart and rebuild it in their own way. And judging from these submissions, they absolutely did. Smiling face with smiling eyes. Lexus Sanzine and white medium star footprints.
Indeed. And so, thank you guys for drawing with me today. DJ, Ronnie G, and Crack Dealer. Especially my members, and to anyone else who will be drawing along with me in the replay. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Drawing with Elle. Together with my bestie Lexus, this has been Elle-C, and I'm out here, and I'll be back immediately with a new stream. Haha. Let's end with a mecha theme as well. My new mecha themed AMV, Ignite the Sky. Let's go!
Ignite the sky, I won't look away. I'll fly through the tears, through the doubt, through the pain. Even if I break, even if I fall, I'll answer the call. I'll give it my all. I'll wake to a world in motion, signals racing through the night. I won't run, I won't hide. This is the day I decide. Engines roar, the stars collide. I draw the line. This is my side. If hope is